So, because you told me that he lived here at that time, and because there's other evidence saying that he lived there, we had a search warrant. Okay, and so we had to check the residence. All right.
Back, you're under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Well, right now I have somebody who won't identify themselves. He's got a firearm around. Okay, put your hands behind your back also for our safety. It's an important question. Do you have a FOID card?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so based on that presumption, he's not allowed to have that firearm.
Nightcrawler Media.
Nightcrawler Media.
Nightcrawler Media.
Nightcrawler Media.
Nightcrawler Media.
Nightcrawler Media.
Hello YouTubers, this bizarre story is brought to us by the Smoove King channel. The owner of the channel has asked me to cover this story for him. We will refer to him as Mr. Smoove. In January of 2023, Officer Troy Benaratis, badge number 124, with the Glen Ellyn Police Department, came to the house of Mr. Smoove under the false pretense to talk to Mr. Smoove about his former roommate. Under the false pretense, which is criminal trespassing under Illinois law, Mr. Smoove let the officers into his home and onto the tile foyer area to get out of the freezing cold. You should almost never let the police into your home. In Mr. Smoove's defense, Officer Benaratis had previously talked with Mr. Smoove months earlier when he came to the house to speak to the roommate, George. The officer spoke with George and went on his way with no issues. As you will see, the house was emptied of all furniture as Mr. Smoove and his son were painting the house. It doesn't take a genius to realize that nobody else was living there. Officers started questioning Mr. Smoove about the location of George, and when Mr. Smoove informed them that George had moved out a while ago, Benaratis whipped out a surprise search warrant. More about this fishy warrant later.
Hey, sorry for waking you or anything like that.
That's all right.
You remember me?
Yeah.
We talked. I just want to talk about George real quick.
Oh, okay.
You got a minute?
Yeah, you guys want to come in?
Yeah, that's fine. It's up to you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. No, I figured. I just didn't want to have to come back out here.
Good, how are you?
Doing okay. Have you talked to George lately?
No, I haven't talked.
Is he home?
No, he's not over here anymore.
No, you don't stay here anymore at all?
No.
Okay. Anyone else here?
Oh, just me and my son.
Your son?
Yeah.
How old's he?
He's about 18.
18?
Yeah.
He's up here?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did he move out?
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a minute?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
What's a while?
Over a month ago.
Over a month ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's your son at?
Went to? He's in this room right here.
In this one up here?
Yeah.
Is he sleeping too? Or is
Yeah,
he
he's
sleeping?
He's, you know where George moved to? No, I got no idea.
Did you talk to him?
You called him the last time we chatted with him on the phone.
Yeah. No, I mean, we didn't leave on bad terms, but, my mom was moving in.
Yeah.
And, I told me to let it go. And there was a lot of just like commotion going on.
Okay. Yeah, so you painted the place since you were here last?
Yeah.
You do anything with his room?
No, not really. Why?
Is everything still in there that was his?
Oh, no. All his stuff's gone.
All of his stuff's gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you do with it? Did you throw any of it away, or did he come get it, or?
No, he came in one day. I think he came with a U-Haul truck and just took everything.
Okay. Was that before we came last time, or after?
I'm sure it was after.
I think it was after.
You guys looking for him? I mean,
Yeah.
Keeping up with you guys? Or?
Yeah, so here's what we got, all right? So, because you told me that he lived here at that time, and because there's other evidence saying that he lived there, we had a search warrant, okay? And so we got to check the residence, all right? So what we're looking for is all laid out in here, okay? So we got to go through your residence. We got to see. We're just looking for anything with George's name on it. Do you have anything like that?
No.
Anything mail that was delivered to here? His IDs? Nothing?
No, and this is
DuPage County. Judge Ford signed it.
It's all tied to the reason.
All right, so how many guys want to come in here and look?
In case there was any question about it, this detective is anti-American and anti-citizen, and proud to show you that he is above the law.
All the guys? 7, I think? 6 or 7?
Yeah, there's
Speed the process along because we don't want to be taking up hours of your day. You know?
yeah, we're not trying to take up all your time,
Yeah.
and we're not
Yeah.
trying to cosplay. You know, we didn't kick down your door, nothing like that. You know, you were cool with us last time,
Okay.
right?
Well, let me tell
And-
my son that you guys are gonna come in.
Yeah,
Make sure he's dressed.
We got to go up there with you.
Yeah, we can't.
Okay.
because of the search warrant. So
But we appreciate you being cool, man.
Yeah, we just carpet cleaned in here and all that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just one of those things.
Are coming in.
Yeah. And which room was George's? Mr. Waldock? Which one was George's?
I mean, yeah, Lucy was in here too.
that's your son in there.
Yeah. You guys are welcome.
This was George's room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just grab the other room while we're up there.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna.
Yeah, sorry about it. Well, you've got a police warrant. They were looking for a storage. They just want to check the room down.
So it's actually a search warrant, not an arrest warrant,
Okay.
and it's a search warrant for the residence. So during the duration of this, we're gonna ask you guys to maybe go downstairs. We'll hang out with you, or you know, we.
I mean, I'm not in the way. He's not in the way. He's got.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to check all this stuff too.
Okay.
I understand the COVID concern, but we'll
We're gonna
just.
check everything. So just
Well,
go ahead and wrap it up. Whatever.
We're not going to be
But that's your copy, and we're not gonna be long. And what's your name, bud? What's your name?
It's okay.
For anybody
That's
else,
fine.
Can I give you a call back shortly? Okay. All right.
Oh,
Oh, you're waiting for your son?
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, you guys ready to head down?
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Can I use the bathroom?
I had to check it first.
After the officers tracked snow and slush all over the carpet and did a quick search, they came up with a loaded firearm located in the bedroom where Mr. Smoove's son was staying. The officers immediately arrested the son and cuffed Mr. Smoove. The officers then used this in an attempt to pry information out of them about George. They kidnapped and charged the son with possession of a firearm, then later charged Mr. Smoove with possession of a firearm with no valid FOID card on person, a Class A misdemeanor. These GLEN ELLYN officers ran back to the courthouse 2 more times to get 2 more warrants. The fishy thing about the first 2 warrants, signed by DuPage County Judge George Ford, is that there is no mention of probable cause whatsoever. If you look at all 3 warrants, Officer Benderadis uses a cookie-cutter template that says in paragraph 1 that says he has probable cause, but never states what it is.
There is, yeah, to it, right there. So what it says is indicia of occupancy, including but not limited to mail, identification cards, credit cards, paperwork, and employment documents. So anything essentially. Okay, and that's why we're here to check it. So like I said, before anybody gets surprised by anything, is there anything in here that we're going to have a conversation about? Be honest with me, man. It's going to get found if there is something.
Dude, no.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure. Okay.
House is up.
You can't answer how old you are? I was making small talk. Oh, this.
1 o'clock in the afternoon, yeah.
Oh, it was early.
It's early for you?
Doing a little reno down here?
This is where Mr. Smoove realizes something is wrong, and they're not just here to find out if George is living in the home.
Do you guys rent or own this one? I'm sorry?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know if you rent or own? Who pays the bills here?
I don't know.
Is this your residence? Do you live here?
Dude, I don't want to ask questions.
Okay.
Can we at least close the door? I got the heat on.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Is Kevin down there?
Yes, sir.
Come up.
Yes, sir.
Got in here.
That's it?
Yeah. We're good.
It is. Hey, 03. Oh, 03. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Well, right now I have somebody who won't identify themselves. got a firearm around. Okay, put your hands behind your back also for our safety. Everybody's being detained. Relax your hands, man. Relax your hands.
These cops are so un-American, they don't even care that maybe, just maybe, George is so dangerous that Mr. Smoove needed this gun to protect his family from him. I mean, that is why they're doing all this, right? Because George is so dangerous?
Show 2 males detained on Creekside. Steve, do you have anything on you that could stab me, poke me, hurt me? Okay.
Let me put my boots on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Give me a second. That's the kind of thing I was talking about, man. I wanted to make sure nobody's getting surprised by anything. We gotten positively ID'd yet?
No.
Alright. What's your name, man? So here's how this is gonna go. There's no small talk here. These are basic questions that are not protected by any rights or anything whatsoever. These are routine questions to identify him and book him. Okay, he's under arrest. Just
Under arrest for what?
he's under arrest. You're being detained at this point.
What is he under arrest for?
Well, he's in the same room as a loaded handgun without a valid FOID card.
Is that arrestable? I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Does your son have a FOID card at your house? Anybody?
My kids don't have
Do you
guns.
have a FOID card? It's an important question. Do you have a FOID card?
I don't ask the question.
Okay. So, based on that presumption, he's not allowed to have that firearm.
You heard it right here, folks. Straight from the government. Every single child of a police officer is going to jail. Right to jail.
They put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists.
Maybe that's why the Supreme Court has ordered an Illinois Circuit Court to rule on the constitutionality of FOID requirements in your home. Shortly after this incident, the court ruled in Illinois versus Vivian Claudine Brown that the FOID restrictions in the home are unconstitutional. I guess we can't expect these agents to know that. I mean, if they had orders to stuff all the Jews into a boxcar, they would be like, it's the law, and the Supreme Court hasn't told us otherwise.
Okay. So what's going to happen? If you're not going to provide us with identification, we need to take you back and we need to fingerprint you. And then we're going to sit and wait.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Can you help us out? Just give us his name and date of birth so we can run and make sure
No,
everything's
I
fine.
don't put any information in there.
He told me his name was the same name as his dad.
Name and date of birth.
Same name as my dad.
I understand what you think it is, but when we arrest somebody, if they don't give us name and date of birth, they stay in custody until we can verify that they're together.
For how long?
No matter how old they are.
It doesn't matter.
Until they're identified.
Until they're identified.
If there's probable cause to arrest them, they stay until in custody until we can properly charge them.
Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that.
Okay. Well,
The room that he's claiming George lived in is not empty. That's clear.
If you come, you found something that isn't in search warrant, so you'd have to go back and run that. Because if you think there's a valid firearm ammunition or something in the house, that's based on the reaction of the chicks or whatever.
Okay. So we were better off. It's expired. 2020.
So if he's in custody, if he's in possession of something.
7 tough guy cops don't know how the law works. There was a governor's order in effect for 3 years. For 3 years, expired FOID cards were still valid in Illinois due to the Rona emergency. There's no way they didn't know this.
Okay. So I should go and write another one based off of that. Alright. Or we should just keep it here while I do that?
The officers made up a fairy tale that Mr. Smoove was in violation of possession of a stolen firearm and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, with no facts stated. The signature of Judge Jeffrey Mackey is literally a photocopy cut and pasted onto the warrant. And for all you trolls watching, tell me if you think they would return the gun to Mr. Smoove if it was stolen. Here it is. When George was living with Mr. Smoove, he told him that the cops were after him because he had a lawsuit against the state. Sure enough, he did. A quick history on that. George was convicted in 1994 for his involvement in a 1993 gang shooting at Cabrini Green, where a youth was killed. No, George was not the shooter. George served his time, and while serving that time, the state of Illinois passed a new law that says that if you commit a violent crime against a minor, you must register your address with the state, kind of like a pedo registry. Just another chance for the state to sneak in and grab your rights away. I'm sure there may be times where this would be useful. For example, a disgruntled ex-con looking for revenge on their victim for testifying, but obviously that won't apply most of the time. George filed lawsuits against the state, stating that law is a violation of his rights. The state filed a motion to dismiss on the grounds that there were no claims stated, just like they do for every single lawsuit they defend. George was either unable or incompetent, failed to respond to the motion, and the case was dismissed. In this video, you are watching what the state is willing to do in its hunt to teach George a lesson, including destroying innocent lives along the way. George's crime has no victims, yet these GLEN ELLYN officers have absolutely no problem creating victims in their hunt. I know there's not much property in this house, but man, they go through every single item and just trash the place. Almost nothing goes back the way it was. Keep in mind, they're supposed to be looking for proof that George still lives in this house. You'll see them dig through the butter sticks in the refrigerator, through the garbage, under the plunger and bowl brush in the bathroom. These guys are animals.
I've not been there yet.
Still arrestable.
Both. Right. Doesn't change the fact.
No, 18 and 15 doesn't change that. So it doesn't matter.
I thought it did. Oh, either way, you could be 100 years old or 1 year old, and with it's stolen out of the radio.
Do you think this is your car?
I didn't think so. No, not for a second.
What did you say?
Do we think this is really dead?
Oh,
absolutely not. I don't think it's a gang there that's usually in the flop house.
and you said what about stolen?
The gun is stolen out of Liberty Ball.
Oh.
So
Nice.
yeah.
I just wanted to let you know, man, we have a right to bear arms, man. The Constitution says we have a right to bear arms, be in the militia.
Well, I got questions about the gun and everything, if you would want to talk to us about it.
Well, I just want to know what you guys want to do with it.
All right.
You want to confiscate it? You want to arrest us for having it? I mean,
Well, I understand, from what all I know is you have an expired FOID card. That's all I know.
like I said, the Constitution doesn't say anything about having FOID cards or being a democracy.
I'm not getting into all those details.
I'm just educated. You're the commander, you should know these details.
I do know those things. I'm trying to be reasonable with you by saying I'm not getting into all that stuff and being reasonable with you.
But you didn't know that.
We're waiting around here because I don't want to have to drive you into the station just to fingerprint.
2 minutes earlier.
If you come, you found something that isn't in search warrant, so you'd have to go back and run that. Because if you think there's a gun, firearm, ammunition or something in the house, which based on the reaction, there's a chance of like that.
Okay. So we're better off. It's expired 2020.
So if he's in custody, if he's in possession of something.
Okay. So I should go and write another one based off of that. All right.
If we can identify and be done with him, then we're done with him.
Well, I think you guys are going to plan on fingerprinting him anyway.
If I can positively identify him, because we have the ability to look at a driver's license photo or state ID photo.
He's never had a state ID, he's never had anything.
You're on a residence. Any occupants inside we can detain. And pursuant to that, we need to be able to identify them.
But you don't have to identify him.
That's part of the detention. I need to be able to document my detention. In one way, shape, or form, we're going to identify him before we release him, no matter what the outcome is.
Right.
So why are we making that drag on?
Why should I make it easy for you guys?
makes no difference to me.
Because that makes it easier for you.
Yeah, this is ultimately making it harder for you guys.
Wrong. Giving up the identity of Mr. Smoove's son will only make things easier for the officers in this situation. You will see why at the end of this video.
We're not that. We're trying to be upfront as possible.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to identify himself, he can be charged with obstruction, and then he will go in the court system.
It's not obstruction if you have a right to remain silent, you don't want to,
Remember what I said earlier, how the booking information and basic demographic information isn't protected under any rights? The Miranda rights and your right to remain silent doesn't apply to that information.
If I ask you about what you did or didn't do in a crime, that is what you have right to remain silent.
Your name, your date of birth, your address.
Determination there's no probable cause to arrest the person, they have to by law tell us their name.
I appreciate Mr. Smoove standing up for his son's rights. However, he is confusing the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent with the Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person. And these three officers are taking advantage of this. Smoove holds his ground regardless. Be aware that if the police have probable cause, you absolutely can be arrested and convicted of a crime if you fail to identify yourself. Lucky for Mr. Smoove and his son, it was found that there was no probable cause in this case.
Transport. Possible juvenile, John Doe, at this point. Yeah. And then Stephen Waldock is the male. Make sure you can call your mother. Go ahead and sit up in there. Before we get going, do you have any major medical problems we need to know about?
oh yeah, I do. I got heart issues, man, and my medication's in there. I totally forgot about that.
Okay. How often do you take your medication? Okay.
I got a thyroid issue.
Did you take it today?
No.
Your heart meds? When are you supposed to take it?
I should have been took it. I just kind of forgot about it.
What is your heart condition?
I don't know. I had a heart attack.
What medication are you on?
Fuck. It's called, I can't even pronounce it, Carbidol or something like that. Carbidol.
Okay.
But I got, it might be in a car, a red car, it might be, it's two little just regular nice ones.
Okay. Do you want me to go try and find it in that car?
Yeah, if you could. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Let me see what I can do. Give me a second.
There might be like a jewel bag, not a jewel bag, but one of those cloth bags. Cloth bags.
Okay. All right, man. Give me a sec.
All right, we got here. I'm going to read you the two in on here, fellas. Indicia of occupancy.
Again.
Including but not limited to mail, identification cards, credit card, paperwork, and employment documents. Firearms components, cases or accessories, ammunition components, surveillance cameras or recording devices, electronic media storage, including but not limited to hard drives, thumb drives, and SD cards, locked containers, and safes, cellular devices. Approval of this search warrant authorizes entry into any of the aforementioned safety measures.
Officer Benderetis was nice enough to find Mr. Smoove's medication and throw it into an unmarked envelope. More about this in a minute. Three officers now chit-chat about how much overtime they will rack up on this 3-hour search of an empty house, and then discuss how to manipulate their policy on filling up their gas tanks before it's necessary.
Buy steak for dinner? You guys are getting 2 extra hours, huh? We're going 2 guys?
No, 2 extra hours.
Oh,
We started at 6.
this is 2 extra an hour.
Hey, that's hard work. It required us to be 2 extra hours, actually.
I know, I'm worried about making it back to the... I gotta get gas before I go to the station.
Oh, yeah?
Or below a quarter.
Below a quarter?
You understand we're 3 miles from the station, right?
Yeah, but you never know, you know?
Is that light
next time you throw it on after we get back, you gotta go do something, you forget it.
It's not just sitting there running, is it?
No.
All right, there you go. I think you're okay.
Just right on the board, we write 1/4, and then
1/8. It'll be
1/8. You write 1/8 on there.
We'll be okay.
Not 1/16.
We'll be able to manage. Or you just write
We'll see it 3 miles away.
Sorry.
It could be.
It might slide up and unscrew.
The officers then removed the Ring doorbell from the home, leaving Mr. Smoove and his property totally defenseless.
Yeah, it's wired. The tab on the bottom.
House key, I'll put that with your property. This is what we use to lock the door, so you can unlock it. So, and then I'll put your heart medication with your property. I can't administer that stuff to you, okay? But you're not going to be here. You're not going to. I can't, unfortunately. We're not going to be. Let us figure out what I'm doing first, and then we'll come back. Okay? If you start to like get like, okay. Let's both take it easy, and we'll try to get through this process, okay?
Officer Benderatus books Mr. Smoove into the jail and tells him that he will be out soon and he won't need his medication, but to let him know if he has an emergency. I'm no doctor, and neither is he, but I don't think heart medication works that way. Mr. Smoove tells me that he was held for nearly 12 hours and was never allowed to have his medication. Mr. Smoove alleges he suffered permanent damage to his heart, resulting from the stress that he was subjected to in combination with missing out on his medication doses.
Right. So right now you're getting charged with one count of a FOID violation. It's a misdemeanor. It's a class A. All right. It's no felony, no nothing. Your son, when you get out, we're going to release him. He's getting nothing.
Quite the can of worms, huh?
Quite.
Interesting. Yeah, surprise ending.
Mr. Smoove's public defender tried to sabotage his defense. He basically defended himself and did all the work to win his criminal case by proving that the warrants were defective. Mr. Smoove plans on filing a federal lawsuit against the Glen Ellyn, Illinois Police Department. Please comment below and let me know what you think about the tactics of these officers. Do you think they're signing their own warrants? Or do you think the judges are just signing anything that's put in front of them? The full 3-hour search will be posted on my channel for one day, and then it will be limited to members only.
Marked on the ticket, there's a subject out here with a high-powered video camera. I'm not suspicious, I'm mysterious. There's a difference.